trips.
The Midwest Drive is a riot. Jay Brooks and Britt's humor is just so contagious.
It's nice to sit back in the car and listen to it while you're driving.
On the road again.
When I'm in the car, I always turn them on.
Turn it up.
Turn up.
Buckle up. You're riding with Jay Brooks and Britt on the Midwest Drive.
And we're taking another drive. Well, in the state of Iowa. I think are you in Iowa right now, Scott?
I am in Iowa right now.
You are? Okay. All right. I know you've been traveling all over the place. You've been in Florida, you've been in Nashville, you've been back here.
I have. It's been a great winter.
Well, that's it. You go south. You try to do most of your stuff south?
Well, I never have before.
Really?
And this was the first year, and I was sitting here and I was thinking to myself, man, I could really book a few more gigs this winter, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, or would I rather do it where it's warm and I can wear shorts and flip flops?
Right.
So I took the chance. My sister lives in Tampa, and I took the chance, and I decided to go that way, and I booked a few gigs along the way, and just kind of hung out, and it was I did it for about 3 weeks, almost a month.
Did you?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Scott Kirkhart joins us here today for the Midwest Drive, and Scott, this is, I don't know if you're familiar with how the show runs or not, but I don't like to call it an interview. It's more of a sit down conversation. We're just in two different locations right now.
I sure like to talk, so we're good.
Well, I know I've been around you. I'm like, does this guy ever shut up?
No, not usually.
No, I'm kidding. That's a good guy. You got some great stuff. Here's what I want to find out though. I want people to be able to, they see you on the stage performing, doing all that good stuff. I want to know the back roads basically of Scott Kirkhart and how you got started, where you came from. You always been from Fort Dodge? Did you move there at some point, or what's going? Tell us, back up a little bit, and let's find out how you got to where you're at right now.
Well, I grew up in Manson, Iowa. Still my hometown, still where I'm at. I started playing music when I was in high school. I was a drummer.
Okay, so was I.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good old drummers. Well, when I learned how to play drums, we didn't have to learn how to play piano like they do now.
Yeah, well, they tried to make me do that they tried.
Oh yeah, they didn't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was a 3-time state jazz band drummer, and I went to college and I played drums at Iowa Central in Fort Dodge.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden one day I was just like, I'm tired of playing drums. I don't want to play drums any longer. So I quit playing drums, and I stopped playing music altogether. And I got married and had kids, and then 9/11 happened, and I had a buddy sit here. He called me up. He was in Florida, and there was nobody flying anywhere.
Right.
And he says, let's learn how to play guitar when I get home. And I said, all right, let's go.
Sure.
So it was a couple weeks later, I finally got to pick him up from the airport. And on the way from the airport, we stopped and we bought Ibanez acoustic guitars, and cheap ones.
Yeah.
That's how I started learning how to play guitar right then.
Really? Not because the girls like guitar players.
No, it was more something to do. It was more so. But drummers never got any girls anyway, so that, right?
Yeah. Right.
But ironically, neither do guitar players either. So,
so you got together with the buddies, and then you got together, made a band or anything, and started traveling around, or?
Well, no, we really didn't. Well, yeah, eventually we did. So my kids were about. I got divorced when the kids were young, early age. And I had them every weekend. I was just one of those dads. I worked for FedEx for 20 years, and I was one of those dads that I had my kids every weekend, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Mm-hmm. And after I did that, when they were about 15, I think, or so, or 14, maybe 13, that's when we started a band called Sweet and Lowdown. I think was the first band I was in. Is what it was called, and it was just some buddies, and boy, we had a good time.
Yeah.
And then we broke up, and I was playing with my good buddy Chris Carr from Fort Dodge area, a phenomenal musician, phenomenal drummer. He used to own a music store, and he looked at me right in the eye and he's like, if you don't book yourself a solo show, I'm going to book it for you, because I didn't sing or anything like that. I just play guitar.
Sure.
And he's like, no, I'm going to book you one. You're going to sing solo. So we ended up booking a solo gig for myself, and boy, that just kind of sparked a little fire underneath me. And next thing you know, I'm writing songs and playing solo. And then I started another band with a good friend of mine who ended up passing away. And but yeah, it's just been. If you would have told me 20 years ago that I was going to be a full-time musician, I would have told you were crazy. But
Well,
here I am.
Sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith.
I did. My son graduated high school, and I didn't have to pay child support anymore. and I just told both of my kids, I said, it's time for me to go out and play. And I don't want to be 65 or 70 years old and regret I didn't try it. Right. So I've been a full-time musician now going on 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And I wish I could have done it 20 years ago.
Sure.
But I've been all over this great country playing music and just and traveling, and both of my kids are in at Iowa State. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye, tried and true, and they both decided to go to Iowa State University. So I'm not sure where I went wrong there, but no, I'm pretty proud of them. And I went into FedEx that one day, and I said, "Hey, I'm tired of your Walmart and your dog food crap, and I'm gonna go out and I got to do this. I'm gonna try it." And they looked at me square in the eye, and he said, "I wondered when this time was coming."
Really?
Yep. So I was there for 20 years, and I call it a midlife crisis or call it just a leap of faith, whatever you want to call it. But boy, I've been having a damn good time doing it. That's for sure.
Well, there's something to be said about enjoying what you do. What is it? If you enjoy what you do, you never work a day, or you never work a day in your life if you love what you do, or something like that.
Well, and that's the truth too. With everything that's going on between music and writing and broken strings and everything else, it just kind of, I think I work more hours now than I probably did at FedEx, to be honest with you, but it doesn't seem like it at all.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, so that got you to basically kind of to this point, and you've had broken strings. Has that been about a 3 or 4 year deal for you?
Yeah, I started that. Well, I started that 2021, February or January of 2021.
Mm-hmm. Tell what is the broken strings. I know what it is, but explain to people what that is, because you do a great thing for kids.
Broken Strings is a 501c3 nonprofit that I started in 2021 because my buddy passed away, Tracy Ernst. We played in a band together, and we were just kind of raising money for the local Fort Dodge schools and giving guitar away to kids there. I went to Tracy and I said, "Why don't we do it for the whole state of Iowa?" And he said, "Oh man, that's a lot of work." And I said, "I know, but what else do we got to do?"
Sure.
And then he ended up getting sick, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he ended up passing away from COVID complications with that. And I kind of made a vow that I was going to keep going, and so that's when we started Broken Strings. And I took my income tax return that I got, and I put all that money towards making it a 501c3. I hired an accounting group basically out of Nashville, Tennessee, called the Foundation Group.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Tenpenny actually uses that one also. And they kind of did all the paperwork and all the legwork and everything. And I got my board of directors, and we've been giving guitars and raising money ever since.
Yeah, because and that goes to like every school district in the state of Iowa, correct?
Yeah, our main goal, we had to come up with a main goal instead of just, let's give guitars away.
Right.
So I said, well, all right, let's give a guitar away to every school district, or one kid per school district in the state of Iowa.
So how do people get? They got to sign up for it? Do they got to apply for it? What do they got to do?
They can reach out to us, and we kind of vet it from there. Also, we reach out to band directors all over the state, middle school band directors, and they usually have a pretty good idea of maybe a young child or a younger kid that would like to learn how to play guitar, or maybe has a little bit of guitar that can't afford a guitar, or something like that. And it's that's kind of how we do it. We were having some issues with emails getting messed up with the band directors, or they look at it and it says free guitar, and they kind of just treat it as spam because they didn't really know what Broken Strings was at the time.
Sure.
And now that's getting easier as they know what Broken Strings is.
Yeah. So, do you give away free lessons? Then guitar lessons, at least one.
I don't, but I have a lot of musician friends that do.
Do you? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, absolutely.
You got a big support there with all the schools, and so have you given it away to every school district so far?
No, we're just over the 100 guitar mark right now.
Okay.
And when I started this, we're like, oh yeah, every school in the state of Iowa, oh, that's going to be easy. Whew, boy, I got to tell you, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. But I have enlisted, and I call them ambassadors now, and there are other musicians that have volunteered their time to help Broken Strings. Like Lee Klett, my buddy Lee Klett, and Jordan Beam, and Liv McNair, and there's Mike Moody from the Des Moines area. There's a few of them, and so they're in their area and they're finding kids for us, and I get them guitars and they go and deliver them and take pictures, and we put them on online and everything. And
Sure.
So that has helped a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
But we are starting to now finally just pick up some major speed, which is awesome. We are teaming up with Nick Nurse. If nobody knows who Nick Nurse is, that's the Philadelphia 76ers head coach.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he's also a Carroll Kemper grad. And he plays guitar, loves kids. He has his own Nick Nurse charitable foundation.
Okay.
And so he bought the Carroll Country Club a couple years ago, and it's now called the Carroll National. So June 14th, we are going to be having a golf outing and raising money, and everything that we raise that day, and we have live music on the patio that night, but everything that we raise that day, he's going to do a matching donation for us.
Really?
Yeah, which is phenomenal. I mean, we couldn't ask anything more. What a great guy to work with.
Yeah. How much is it to get into it? You got a team? Is it a four-man best shot, or what is it?
So it's a four-person scramble. It's $125 a person, $600 a team. They're doing 18 teams. And then during the day, or after that, in the evening, they're going to do a live auction we've got, like a brand new Matt Campbell autographed football sitting over here next to me and stuff. We're gonna auction some pretty nice auction items off.
Sure.
That day, and then we're gonna have live music on the patio from Iowa artists, and maybe a couple surprise ones, and that night, and that's all open to the public at night.
Is it? Does it cost for the public to come in for the music?
Free will donation.
Free will donation. Sometimes you make more money doing that.
Yeah, I would rather do it that way.
Yeah.
And do a free will. I mean, there's some people, they walk in there, they're going to drop $100 bill,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you say, oh, $10, $20 to get in. Yeah. All right.
You're right. Yeah.
But it's been, what a great guy. I can't say anything more about Nick Nurse. I mean,
Yeah.
he's supporting his own Iowa, his own hometown, and it's just, what a great gift from a great person.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. June 14th, huh? The Carroll
National is what it's called. Yeah. I'll have all my social medias and stuff like that, and Broken Strings social medias. We're gonna go. I haven't really announced it. This is kind of the announcement right here. I mean, so
exclusive.
Yeah, this is exclusive right here. So we're going to Nick's making a video for us right now. I'm going to release it probably before the something before the CMO Awards in Okoboji this next weekend.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just going to be a great day. Good day
Yeah.
to make. We'll probably give a couple guitars away that day too, I'm sure.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check my schedule. If I get a team together, I may
Yeah.
come down and that'd be kind of fun to play that. If I'm not gonna be somewhere else, doing a lot of traveling these days.
Well, yeah. I know you are. You're traveling more than I do.
Yeah, right. Hey, speaking of the MCO, the award show, the Midwest Country Organization's having their show coming up April 12th at the Roof Gardens in Arnold's Park. And you up for any awards there?
No, not this year. It looks like my buddy Corey Waller. Looks like he's getting the dish of them all. Is what it looks like.
Right.
Another Manson boy, a guy from the same town that I'm from, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's about 10 years younger than I am, so it's great. It's great to see that and see the music scene in the Fort Dodge area is popping, and it always has, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and it's phenomenal seeing some of these guys get nominated and recognized for the hard work and the good work that they do put in music.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of the artists, I mean, awards are great, but
Yeah.
if you're doing it just for the awards,
Yeah, that you're in the wrong place. Yeah.
right, exactly. I mean, just put out the best products that you can, enjoy the crowd, engage with the crowd loves you, you love the crowd, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Just have fun, give back, be humble always, and
Yeah.
and I think for the most part everybody is, especially around here. I mean, we're all kind of family.
Yeah.
I've noticed, and I'm humbled to be part of that, which is great.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I made some damn good friends, let me tell you.
yeah. Well, you know what I love about the organization as well too is it's a we family. I mean, you and
It
I
is.
are musical brothers, you know what I mean? I mean, it's and doing the Midwest Drive and stuff, and that's what I want it to be. And I know you guys already have relationships, a lot of you, with each
Sure.
other. So if you need a
Yep.
drummer, you need a guitar player, you go, hey, you're calling up Beam and going, hey, I'm going to steal your guitar player today because what he doesn't really have one. He's
Right.
he's the guitar player.
Yeah, he's the guitar player and the drummer. Well, he's got a drummer now.
Yeah, he does.
Johnny G. Yeah, he's great too.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we, anybody that's really, really good in the music industry around here, they're in 14 different other conglomerations,
Right. Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, do you have a band? And I'm like, well, yes, I could get one together, that doesn't take much really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I can do a full band if you want me to do a full band for the night, or I can do solo or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, who's in your band? I'm like, well, it depends on who's available that day.
And if their car's working, then they can get there.
Yeah, right. True. Truth.
Yeah. So yeah, the awards. I can't believe it's already here. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday. We start the things off. You going to be there all weekend, or?
I'm planning on it. Yep, we're gonna go up and throw some axes on Thursday and meet up with Brad and Nikki. I think Jesse's rolling with me on the way up there. Throw some axes on Thursday, and then we got those classes all day Friday.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because I've actually read the first edition book from Ari when that came out, and I actually have the newer edition of it when it came out, or when he came out with that one, that I listened to on the way to Florida and on the way home from Florida, and an audio book.
Yeah. Well, you keep your eyes on the road. It's easier to keep your eyes on the road.
Yes, correct.
Than read
I
the
like
book.
those. I like those audiobooks,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I listened to that all the way there. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and listening to him, and then of course jam night on Friday night is always a blast. I can't wait to jam with some of my brothers and sisters that night, and on Friday night at the Ritz, and then Saturday's the red carpet day. So
right, and we'll be there. Hopefully, you can join us on the red carpet and stop by the broadcast here.
Well, I definitely plan on it. I know Tammy's all excited. She's wearing a lady's suit, I guess is what, I don't know what you want to call a suit, but It's all sparkly red, and I was like, "Ooh,
Nope.
honey, you looking
Yeah,
pretty
right.
good tonight, right?"
I forget about that Chris Young song, the black dress.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, this is a bright red.
Yeah.
When I met Tammy, I opened up for Jordan Davis in Storm Lake,
Okay.
and I was standing there, and here's this curly haired, tall, beautiful smile, bright red lipstick, curly haired woman, and I'm like, who in the hell is that? And so I stalked her maybe a little bit on Facebook, and I found her and found out that we were close friends with another couple. And well, next thing you know, after a couple years, we were together. So we've been together a long time already now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So people can tune in and share it on social media, all that good stuff. So,
The Midwest, the award shows, um, we try to collaborate all year long with partners and friends
mhm.
but this is the one weekend of the year that you get to hang out with those friends that you don't really get to see every
Right.
day or every other day. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun.
Yeah. Last year, during the jam night, radio, there's one thing you should never do is give a radio guy a microphone to sing into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This,
I
I'm
do.
great. Hey, I'm great in the shower and in the car because the acoustics are set just right in the shower.
Sure they are.
But you give me a microphone in front of people, I'm horrible,
Are you,
absolutely horrible.
so you're telling me to get you up on stage again this year? Is that what you're
No, I
saying?
will not. I always tell people, hey, if they're doing karaoke somewhere and if I say, hey, I think I'm gonna go sing a song, I'm going pile my ass into the car. We're going home. It's just not gonna be a good idea. You know what I mean? So,
It isn't that bad. Come on.
oh, it's bad. Yeah. Danny Grouse tried to get me to do that last year. He goes, hey, let's go sing a song. I'm going, no, I'm not. Come on, it'll be fine. I go, no, I'm not
Danny
singing.
Grouse. Danny Grouse is a bad influence. I think he got Tammy a little drunk last year.
Yeah. I think he had a couple of glasses in his hand. So I'm going, yeah.
He always does. In fact, I messaged him the other day and I said, "Hey, you gonna make it?" And he's like, "Well, I kind of forgot about it, but yeah, I think I'm going to be there."
How could he forget about it?
I don't know. He says he's been busy. That's what he
Uh,
said.
yeah. Yeah. Scott
Government
Kirk.
worker.
Yeah. So, but Scott Kirkhart, it's always a pleasure to talk to you whenever I see you. I've seen you play with Brad Morgan before and
Yeah.
in other spots. So it's great to see you and all that. But I don't know if you heard anything about this. Growing up, did you grow up on a farm?
No, I grew up in a small little Iowa town.
So, well, it's kind of rural, isn't it? How
Well,
small?
yeah, it's rural. Yeah,
Yeah. You got one stoplight?
we do have one stoplight. Actually, it's
Yeah.
the only stoplight in Calhoun County.
There you go.
It is too. In fact, when they redid our main street, they were going to take it out, and everybody's like, "No, no, that's the only stoplight in Calhoun County." So they actually put it back up,
Just for that reason.
just for that reason. Yes,
Yeah. Did you grow up driving a stick shift or an automatic?
I did drive a stick shift Chevy S10 long box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, short cab or just a standard cab, long box.
Yeah. Well, because you know what they say, there's 18% of Americans today know how to drive a stick shift.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
All sports cars are stick shifts, though, aren't they?
I know, but you don't see young kids driving the sports cars like you and I did.
No, they all drive pickups anymore, don't they?
Right. They're all
Actually,
jacked up.
they drive nicer pickups than I do.
I know. How does that work anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah. My Jeep's lifted. My truck's got a little lift on it. And my dad even gave me a hard time. He's like, oh, I can't get into that thing. I said, that's why I have it now, because I can get into it. When I can't get into it, I got to get rid of it.
Right. I have a 25-year-old van. That's my gig van. I sunk a lot of money into the old Ford van in the last couple of years. She got about 238,000 miles on it.
Oh my.
But you know what? Went all the way to Florida, went all the way to Nashville, been to Vegas, I've been everywhere in that thing.
Yeah. You sound like a Johnny Cash tune.
Yeah, it sounds like a country song, don't
right? It does. I've been everywhere. Yeah.
it?
You got what song? What song you got on? I know you got that old friend. That's a great song. You just did that video as acoustic. Would that come out about a year ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
I came out a year ago. Buck's been gone now for 2 years already. So yeah, but I came out with I came out with that a year. I think it was a year and a half ago. I think it was.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good song. Where did you film that at?
At a studio in Lorenz, Iowa. We just wanted Tim Fox from TFC Photography filmed it, and he did he just wanted a white wall because Buck was always a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. We went to 14 Jimmy Buffett concerts together.
Oh, wow.
And so we had Take Me to Margaritaville playing on the wall in the background of that. You know, if you don't pay attention to it, nobody's going to know what's on the back wall, but it's actually Jimmy Buffett playing on the back wall behind me of that music video.
Is that right?
Yep.
I didn't even notice it when I watched the video.
Yep. Well, now you're going to have to go back and watch it again because the movie Take Me to Margaritaville is actually playing on the back wall behind me as I'm singing that song on the video.
Jeez.
Yeah. We got a lot of hidden stuff in my videos like that.
Yeah.
We do. My one video, I'll Do Me. There is a wonderful lady, Jordan, from Minnesota, and we filmed at their place, and she has a bottle of S&B distillery whiskey called Private First Class in her hand in one part of the video, and they're actually from Bancroft, Iowa.
Really?
The distillery is, and I actually have a signed autographed bottle of Private First Class, which is actually Sarah's dad, who that's named after. So, and because of that video, yeah, just all kinds of weird stuff like that. I could go on. We try to do these little. If you know us and know what we're talking about, there's usually something in the videos. Every video that we do that's kind of hidden.
Really?
Yeah, we
now you're
started
back-
doing that right away when we first started doing videos, and that's we've continued that all the way through.
Well, now I'm gonna go back and watch all your videos.
Yeah, we got there's quite a few of them, but yeah, it's Tim does a nice job. He's always been my videographer and my photographer for everything. He's out of Albert City, Iowa, and we kind of grew up together. I mean, he's an amazing photographer, and now he's advancing. He's a scuba diver, and he goes down to Mexico and Florida, and goes scuba dives with sharks, and
Oh, wow.
and he's doing a documentary on sharks and everything now that he's making. I mean, it's just he's an amazing person, an amazing photographer, and it's an honor always to work with him.
Yeah. Have you worked with anybody, or is there anybody that you'd like to work with?
Anybody that I want to work with?
Yeah. If you could work with somebody, who'd you want to pull? And say anybody, either Midwest country originals or a Nashville star or somebody.
Well, I would say right now, you know what? I'd like to. I would like just to sit down with Willie Nelson and just talk to him for a little bit, right?
Well, you're gonna get secondhand smoke.
That's all right. I went to. I'll tell you that story when we're up in the Midwest CMOs. But I went to when I was in Florida. My buddy Jim is a veteran, and he goes to vettix.com and gets free concert tickets. You know, we pay the service charges, and he bought Willie Nelson tickets. And so we went to see Willie Nelson in Orlando, Florida on a Saturday afternoon when we were there. And man, what a 91 years old, and the guy still do. Imagine the stories that he has.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I've known his Neil Schmidt was his bus driver for about 15 years.
Really?
And he's a Lakeview guy from Lakeview, Iowa down here.
Oh yeah.
And I have talked to him. I've got some Willie Nelson guitar picks that he gave to me and some stuff that he's acquired over the year. And boy, what stories those guys could tell over the years, right?
Oh yeah.
as far as collaboration, I'd like to like Travis Denning, Riley Green, anybody like that new. So Travis Denning is a hell of a writer.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he's a great musician, but he writes more than he puts his own stuff out, and he is just a hell of a writer. And I like his stuff a lot.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So before we wrap things up, Scott, I got to ask you. I always try and add, get a little DNA from the artist.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this on any of the videos or not, but just think about the day if you're out on the gravel roads back when you're younger. Okay, before you even doing music, what if you were driving in the car with Ma down the back roads of Iowa? What would you be listening to? What did she have on the radio?
The Oak Ridge Boys.
Bappa, Mao Mao.
Elvira, man, that was that and Anne Murray. Could I have this dance? And we grew up with those console stereos where they had the record player and the the 8-track, and they were 6 feet long and they were a piece of furniture. I remember getting in there and seeing the Oak Ridge Boys album with Elvira album.
Yeah.
And Bobby Sue and Setting Fancy Free and Elvira, and I think I still to this one fact I know I still have that album in my studio because I still listen to it once in a while. And I've seen those guys multiple times. The other one was the Bellamy Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And I got a chance to open for those guys in at the Roof Garden last year, 2 years ago already.
Wow.
And that was cool. I mean, what an honor. And those guys are 74 and 76 years old and they still got it. Right.
Oh yeah.
But that's the kind of music that we always listen to, that older country.
Yeah. Yeah. I told Randy Travis one time, I was doing an interview with him.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, because he goes, Jay, you always like country music. And I go, Randy, no, I didn't. Growing up, I was an 8, Warrant and Motley Crue and Kiss and all that stuff. And he said, oh, really? Why didn't you like it? And I said, Randy, I said, because of you. Dead side. I thought Randy hung up on me. But I said, let me explain. He was playing at the Surf Ballroom. And so I told him, I said, let me explain why I didn't like you or like country music. And I said, because Dad, every time your songs came on the radio, Dad would sing to your songs.
At the top of his lungs.
Yeah. With the window cracked about that far, smoking a pipe. You know? So, and so Randy, so he got a good laugh about it. I told both Randy Travis and Kenny Rogers that story, that those are the two, and the Oak Ridge Boys. And so he was able to meet, I got Dad and Mom to both, they were able to meet Randy Travis. Randy wanted to meet Dad real bad, and he wanted to bring him up on stage to sing. And I said, no, you do not want that. You want people to enjoy the show. And then same thing, Kenny apologized, for putting me through all of that, and listening to his songs. I go, no, your songs, you weren't bad. It was Dad that was bad, And then so I had a chance to interview or introduce Mom and Dad to Kenny Rogers.
And I did the same.
Yeah. And the Oak Ridge Boys, I sat down in Nashville, Tennessee, and they set aside certain time for radio guys to have an interview. Well, they set aside a half hour for me, and they had to literally stop it and it's probably one of the best interviews that I ever did because I didn't talk. I didn't have to. We sat around a round table. I'll never forget this till the day I die. We sat around a table with the guys, and they go, well, Jay, what do you want to talk about? And I put the recorder and I leaned in the center of the table and I said, tell me the stories.
Yeah.
And it went back to just like what we've been talking about, what they were doing, and Statler Brothers, and they did this, and Bellamy Brothers, and this and that. And I'm like, what do I say?
Nothing. You don't. You just listen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I grew up with my parents listening to that music and me loving it.
Yeah.
And then I'm the baby of 6 kids. So I got my older brother, Donnie, he had that Oldsmobile Cutlass with the T-tops and the Craco truck speakers and the Alpine stereo in it. And man, I remember listening to Quiet Riot for the first
Oh, yeah.
time. You know, that music changed me. So that's who I was. And then 90s, I graduated in 94. So there you go. That shows my age. And then I graduated in 94. So I was in that transition from 90s country to grunge music also, and 80s hair bands, and then it got weird in 2000.
Yeah.
So that's still some of the best music there is out there.
Yeah, it is.
All that is. What a great time to grow up in, and that before pre-cell phones and pre-computers.
Yep.
I love all the technology. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the technology.
Right.
But man, what a great time to grow up in, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was. It was.
Yeah.
Scott, we could sit and talk all afternoon,
all day.
But you know what? You don't have a whiskey in your hand. I don't have a beer in my hand, so we'll have to do that in a couple of weeks.
Well, sounds great to me. I'm ready.
Does that work?
Yep, it does.
All right. Make sure you get to Scott's music. Where can you get all of your music at?
Scott Kirkhart Music, anywhere. That's my socials on everything. Even on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. It's all Scott Kirkhart Music. Just check it up.
Excellent. Scott, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks for having me, man.
You bet. We'll catch up in Okoboji.
Sounds good, bro.
Weeks. All right.
Windows down, you wanna get lost on the edge of town in a Chevrolet. Good Lord, everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Like a Mustang, one hand on them giddy-up reins, hole in your heart with some good aim on a goodbye ride. There was always a long for the ride.